Day 27 video log, Munfordville, Kentucky. We actually improvised the layover day in Munfordville, and it kind of worked out perfect because we were tired. We've been on the road about 8 days, and we really just needed a day of rest. And I'm not sure if you can hear it or not. We needed a day of rest, so what we had to do is we just voted, made a consensus that we were going to rest that day, and it was good too because it was raining really hard, to a point where it rained all day, like from 9 o'clock when we start marching to 5 o'clock when we stop marching. It rained the whole time, and it actually rained until maybe around 6. But the whole idea was improvise, you know, like let's have a plan, but then let's also improvise. Let's use what we have at hand and make it better. You know, it's like a plan is a good outline, but then that outline has to be massaged out, and I think it's important that we focus on that. You know, it's like that's what we're doing. It's like we have this idea, we have this plan. Now we're putting it together, and we're not sure exactly what piece goes in what piece, but we're gonna give it a shot. And you know, I think it's always perspective when it comes down to life. You know, when it comes down to this march too, and just meeting people, it's like there's a perspective. We can meet these good old boys and be like, oh, they don't want to hear anything about it, or we can flip it and be like, wow, you guys have so much more to offer than the people that are living in the city who don't have that sense of community. You know what I mean? And it's like the perspective. And I'll tell you what, being able to meet all these people since we left New York has been the whole gamut of people. You know what I mean? And it's just, I think that's something that I can't duplicate. You know, that's something that only happens on this march. You know, it's like if I was stationary in an occupation, if I was in one place at an occupation, I wouldn't be able to experience all these different people. Yeah, people would come up to me if I was camping out in the tent or holding a sign or protesting or whatever, right? But it's not the same as me walking to someone's store front while they're working, opening up a dialogue and listening to what they really want. To me, there's something very personal about that. You know, there's something very strong and solid and community sense. You know, it feels common to do that instead of so uncommon to hold a sign and picket and, you know, tent out. You know, and it's like we needed to do that to get to here. I understand that. At the same time, it's like let's move past that. You know, what else can we do? And I think it's important that we continue to emphasize what we can do. You know, not the things that we can't do and the things that are wrong, but what can we do now? You know, and you know, there's always a miracle around the corner. That's what I was always taught. You know what I mean? As we're walking down this path here, there's always something that's beautiful that's gonna pop up. You know, we just got to be aware of it. You know, it's like it could be someone driving down the street and they stop and they go, "Hey, we'll house you tonight." You know, and it's like if I'm so stuck on it's got to be this way, then those things won't happen for us. You know. And that's one of the things I'm grateful for is the fact that I'm able to just go, I don't care what happens. You know, let go of all expectations. You know, here's the plan, but we don't have to stick to it at all. We'll throw it out the window. You know, I think that's what the strength of this march has been, is the fact that we've been so flexible. You know, when the wind blows, it's like we're flexible with what happens. I think that's very important, you know. And thanks, Darren. And love is not just being nice to each other. I think it's important that we realize that, you know, if I love somebody, it's not just means I'm not going to sugarcoat everything and pat them on the back when things aren't all right. You know, when things aren't all right, people come up to me and they tell me that it's not all right. You know, it's the same thing. You know, it's like tough love. Sometimes we got to give tough love to each other. You know, and it sucks at the time, but then afterwards, it's like I remember all those little spot weld moments. You know, I don't necessarily remember all the times when someone patted me on the back and said it's going to be okay. I remember all the times when people said a truth to me, and it kind of hit me to the bone, you know? And I know there's a way of presenting that. There's an eloquence to that as well. At the same time, sometimes it just takes brute force to make it happen. You know, at least that's what I believe. You know, that's just me personally. And I think we have to remember that too. You know, it's like when we put these tents up, when we started occupying, you know, that was like brute force. That was saying like, hey, we want this. This is about time, you know. But now it's like, now that we have that brute force, we can be more eloquent. You know, now we can be more assertive instead of aggressive. Let's not tone it down. Never tone it down. No, it's not about that. But let's channel that energy and focus it. You know, and then when you focus assertive energy, it's not aggressive, but it's powerful. You know, and I see us doing that. I see us as a movement doing that. And it takes people, it takes commitment, it takes drive, it takes people passion. You know, it takes people that are willing to do the footwork to do it too. You know, and I really believe that the winter has separated the weak from the strong. You know, and it's about time that we started working together again. You know, and I see us doing that. And you know, it's gonna be a good day, and there's always gonna be a miracle right around the corner. I promise. I so promise there is. You know, in my life, there's always been something that is waiting right around the corner that's even better than I thought that I wanted at the moment. You know, day 27, Munfordville, Kentucky. Taking a day off, and Munfordville. I don't even know what Munfordville was until I walked here, you know? And now that I've walked here, I don't want to leave, you know? Everyone is so nice, you know? Day 27, been on the road almost a month now, Munfordville, Kentucky. I love you guys. I love these video logs, and I'll check back in with you very soon.